Okay, this is the gear explosion. Now I've arrived here in Atlanta. I guess I'll walk you through what the pieces are. So starting at the back, I have the Osprey Exos 58. It's not an ultralight pack, but I've had it for years. Very comfy to carry. Has a slight creaking, but I'm pretty sure that is just from the weight. Coming down, my tent just here is the Luxe Hex Peak. It's about a 3-pound tent, so again, not particularly lightweight, but has survived the battering on the West Highland Way, torrential rain, horror situation, so I know it's good. There is a pole extender for it, but it also works on trekking poles. These are the tent pegs. There's a lot in there. It works best when you're really nailed down with guys and everything out. Potentially may not need that depending on what weather I see, so may cut that down. This is a piece of polycro that I'll use as a little bit of a footprint, and can go underneath my sleep pad if I'm in a shelter. I have a Thermarest Z seat, super lightweight, super comfy to just break out on trail if you need to sit down. Absolutely love it. Coming here, these are my trekking poles, Black Diamond Trail poles. They also serve as the pole for my tent. Into my cook system, I'll mostly be doing freezer bag cooking, so I have a heat pouch where you pop the freezer bag into it, a long handle Tokes titanium spoon with a polished head. My cook set itself is a GSI Soloist. Again, maybe not the lightest thing on trail, but works really well for me. I've picked up fuel today. I have a little cup that I can have tea or coffee in, a napkin. This is an old IKEA joke wallet thing that I picked up, but it'll serve as my bear hang bag. So I've got some rope and the carabiner in there for that. A lighter. This is the MSR Pocket Rocket, the old original version. Again, worked really well for me on trail. I have some roasting bags to use as a scent defense. So that, along with a stuff, a dry bag is what I'll use for bear hang. Then my water system will be the Sawyer Squeeze. I have the coupling rink for drainage. This is a head net for when we get insects. Shoes, footwear. So I'll be wearing the Brooks Cascadia 16. I've got maybe 120 miles on these already. And then I've got another few pairs that I'm shipping to myself. These are Dirty Girl Gaiters. Dirty Girl is the name, the brand name for them. They're great keeping out sticks and twigs and little rocks and stuff from getting in your feet. Fantastic. Ever since I've started wearing them, been really impressed. Camp shoes are Crocs. Again, not necessarily the lightest, but really super comfy. Great for fording water crossings when we get there. Up to the back there, I have the Rab Ascent 500 sleeping bag. It's good down to, and this is American terminology just because that's what I'm sort of in the habit of now. So it's comfort rated down to 30 with the edge of comfort down to 20 degrees. So to 0 centigrade or down to about -5. I'm a very warm sleeper, so I don't anticipate having a problem. I've slept out in freezing conditions in the past with no issue. I have a Thermarest Neo Air X Lite sleep pad just here. That will it's got a great R value. And then I've recently added the flex tail pump to it rather than the stuff sack to pump air in. The flex tail is actually lighter than the stuff sack was, so I'm giving that a go. May regret it. Apologies to everyone who hears it whirring away. Then I have 2 pillows, so one pillow here and then another pillow there, primarily to have one between my knees because I have terrible knee problems, so that'll help. I have a Mummy silk sleeping bag liner there. 2 purposes for that. One is to help boost the temperature rating, so it'll add a couple of degrees of warmth, but primarily it's actually more to protect the bag itself from my filthy, horrible body, and keep it clean and less need of cleaning. All the dirt and nonsense from me will be in the liner, so then I can just take that to the laundrette and launder it. I have a Patagonia wind shell there, and then my rain gear is a Frog Togs poncho. So that's my primary plan for rain. I expect to get wet. Almost everything will wet through eventually, so I decided to go for the Frog Togs poncho, which won't wet through but can be quite warm, but the poncho should allow for plenty of breathability. But we'll see how it stands up. I do have a pair of relatively cheap light waterproof trousers, primarily again for wind protection when up on peaks. 2 pairs of gloves, so I have these waterproof over mitts, and then these are just a thin liner pair, just to if it gets cold. Again, I don't usually struggle with any cold, but better to be prepared. A little bit of pack your fears on some of this stuff. My poop kit is here, so I've got a shovel for digging a cat hole. I have recently added a travel bidet, so we'll see how that works out. And then I've got some Dr. Bronner's and some camp soap and toilet paper and various other stuff in there in case I need to go. And then there's also some spare bags in there in case I need to pack anything out. I've got some hand sanitizer in there as well at the top. Then over here, this is a little ditty bag I've got full of sort of medical type stuff. So it's got some KT tape, it's got a cork roller ball, some dressings, some diarrhea tablets, some all those kind of things, some extra water purification tablets, just in case there's a problem with the Sawyer. Then down to more kind of diddy stuff, I guess. So I have a bum bag or a fanny pack, which is a Patagonia, and then a really small travel wallet that carries a card and some cash in there. I have a waterproof sunglass and phone case, so this will be what I carry on my pack to try and minimize any rain damage. Electronics wise, I have an extra external hard drive for backing up videos and stuff. I have my Sunto watch that I'll be wearing, a bunch of different cabling, a fast wall charger, the Nikkor 20,000 milliamp power pack, the Petzl Actic head torch. I have 2 pairs of headphones, bit of resiliency. So I have the iPods, which will be my normal one, and then to save batteries and as a backup I have the corded version. Again, a bunch of different cables there. Then we come on to clothing. So this is kept in a separate dry bag. This is my sleep gear. So there is a Patagonia Capilene thermal top with a hood and a pair of Under Armour leggings that help to compress if I need compression. and then a spare pair of darn tough socks and a spare pair of Injinji liners just in case I need them. And those will always stay in the dry bag in the very bottom of the bag with my sleeping bag. Again, important for me to have dry clothes to change into every night. You know, I understand they're not going to be clean, but they'll be hopefully as clean as they can be. Coming down to what I call my camp wear. So this is stuff that I will change into at camp, or will serve as an option if I need to change what I'm wearing on a daily basis. Not expecting to. So I have a spare pair of shorts, some Under Armour running shorts, a pair of underwear, ex officio, great for wicking away stuff. These are a pair of again, compression, calf compression. I've had issues in the past with shin splints, and they really helped. I have my Patagonia beanie if it gets cold. These are a pair of fleece leggings for hiking in if I need to. A spare t-shirt, and then these are a pair of sealskins waterproof socks. Again, understanding that most of the things will get wet one way or the other. Waterproof socks will probably make my feet sweat, but they might help with keeping out snow or other extreme colds if needed. We'll see how those go. I've not worn them on an actual trek yet. I've worn them on a couple of short treks just to make sure that they don't give me blisters, but I've not worn them for a sustained period because I've never needed to. So they may end up getting sent home, and more on that in a bit. So all that again is my my camp wear, and then what I'll be wearing on a daily basis. So I have some Under Armour compression shorts, serve as my underwear. Then I have the Patagonia baggies shorts, a sun hoodie, mountain hardware sun hoodie, long sleeves to make sure I don't get burnt, and a t-shirt. So some combination of that will be my daily walking wear, along with an Under Armour compression top that I wear that's helped me prevent me getting back issues. For a mid layer, I have the alpaca hoodie. Fantastic, really warm but really breathable, never smells, allows the wind to come through a little bit so you can keep cool. It's just a fantastic piece. So I imagine that'll be living on me and then in and out of the top of my bag. If it gets super cold, I have my Patagonia synthetic down puffy. This is so hot, so warm, and again, I don't anticipate ever hiking in it. It'll mainly be ready for if things get super cold. I can, when I'm on a break or whatever, I can chuck it on. But in practice and what I've seen so far, the alpaca is more than enough than I'll need. But again, I'm prepared to take the extra weight for the pack your fears to make sure that I've got that coverage. And then finally, on my feet, again, I'll be hiking in a pair of Injinji toe liners and darn tough socks. So since I found out about the Injinjis, I swear by them. They are fantastic for preventing blisters, for stopping your toes rubbing together. If you've forgotten to trim your toenails down, it stops them from digging into each other. Just all around fantastic. And then finally, I've got a buff that I'll wear or not wear depending on how hot things are. So I touched on my food system earlier, and this is just an example of what I'll be carrying. So I have a couple of smart water bottles. These will serve as one dirty, one clean. So I'll have 2 litres of water at all times, or when I fill up. And then all of my food will live in this bear bag, or it's a dry bag that will keep it protected, but also enable me to hang it. So what I've done is at the back here I have my kind of lunchtime packets. So it's got some tortilla wraps and salami and cheese in there, and that'll again I'll eat through that on a daily basis. And then the other bags are all evening meals and breakfast meals, so it kind of splits it out for the day. And the reason for splitting it into and storing it that way is because you have to pack out all of your stuff, leave no trace. What I'll do is each day my garbage will live in the bag that I've stored it for here, and then when I can find a place to dispose of it, then I've got it all ready to just go. And then down here I've got a couple of luxuries, so some tea bags and some milk, so that'll last for maybe a week of tea on trail, and then some snacks. And then this is a breakdown of what I was talking about earlier. So for breakfast I have some porridge, and then for dinner I have some ramen and some, in this case, tuna with sunflower oil, and then there's some snacks for the day in here. So there's a Cliff Bar and some almonds and cranberries and nuts. And so it weighs a lot. I've got about four to 5 days food there, which should, in theory, get me to Neal's Gap. But again, we'll see. Okay, I talked about sending stuff home, but being from the UK, it's kind of a trickier situation than it is for your US citizens or people with family in the area. So for me, home is likely to be this little box right here. So this is what they call a bounce box. And essentially what I'll do is I'll send it to myself further down the trail, and it'll contain spare things and things that I might need as and when I go. The primary use for me is for these. So these are my spare pair of shoes that I'll need probably after 400 or 500 miles. And obviously part of the plan will be to stop off at an outfitter and buy shoes as I go. But if I can't get to an outfitter, or they're closed, or they don't have anything in my size, or for whatever reason, then I have these as a spare pair. So these will live in my bounce box until such point as I need them. And then the rest of the stuff that I've got in my bounce box is mostly stuff that I might need but probably won't, but is extra. So I've got some spare tent pegs, I've got some spare toilet wipes, a spare shovel that I bought. I've got some micro spikes in case I need them, particularly in the Smoky Mountains. I think there's potential for ice up there, so it might require them. Some more wipes. The reason there are so many wipes is because that was the volume that that I bought them in, and rather than throwing them away or leaving them at home, I figured chuck them in the bounce box and then get them as and when I need them. I might never need them. Same for spare toothbrush, spare lighter. I've got some safety pins just in case I need them. Some spare lip salve. This is just some Velcro strips and iodine tablets in case needed, some bandages, some diarrhea pills, a spare dry bag, a whole bunch of freezer bags. Again, you buy these and they come in massive packs, so rather than leaving them, I bring them along. I've got some spare Sawyer water filter stuff, so some pouches, a syringe to clean, backwash it. I've got a Sawyer Mini in case my other one breaks, and then I've got this one there. Again, most of the stuff is I'll probably just buy from an outfitter on trail, but we'll see. I've got a spare head torch, I've got some spare paracord, some tape for taping up my box, and some duct tape, and a spare pair of earplugs. So yeah, that's essentially my home from home. As I say, it all gets thrown into this box, and then I'll take it to the post office. You can ship it to yourself. I will probably be sending this to Fontana Dam, and then from if I need stuff out of it in Fontana Dam, then I'll unpack it, get whatever I need. If I don't need it, then I'll just bounce it onto the next post office further down the road. But yeah, that's what lives in my bounce box.